Hi folks, a little bit of a disclaimer coming into play here. I am not a motor mechanic. I have absolutely no qualifications in that area at all. In the film you're going to see, I have made some presumptions, and I'm leaving it at that. Okay folks, the project this time is to replace the rear disc pads on this April 2006 BMW R1200 GS. I'm going to remove the rear spray guard and the pannier. I won't film those because they're really easy to do. The tools you're going to need are a pair of slim nose pliers, a flat-ended punch and a small hammer. Okay, so we take the pin out, get the punch, gently tap it through. There's the pin with the hole in it where the little clip goes through like that. Now what I do is I get this big screwdriver here and I put the blade between the two disc pads and I'll give it a bit of a twist, and that pushes them back into the that pushes the pistons back slightly, and then that means that shoes slide out really easily. Are they called shoes? Oh. Yeah, I think they are called shoes. Pads, that's it, not shoes, brake pads. Shoes are what you have on drum brakes. Now then folks, once I've taken the brake pads off and given them a bit of a clean up, I can see that the wear indicators are still showing that there's usable friction material on the pads. Now it's only a very small amount, 1.7 millimeters. I used my trusty old-fashioned vernier gauge to measure them. Now that ain't a lot of material, but it's still serviceable, and the thickness of the friction material has no relationship to the effectiveness of the brakes. But of course what you don't want to do, what will be the biggest embarrassment regarding your brake maintenance, would be to allow this to wear down to nothing, so the metal was rubbing on your disc. So I think on reflection I'm going to put these back because I've got a few hundred miles left in them, and I'm going to change them over the Easter holidays when I've got more time. I'm going to put a little bit of copper grease on the back of the pads. Yeah, it's supposed to stop brake squeal. I find that it doesn't squeal anyway. And a little bit of copper grease on the retaining pin. Slide the brake pad up behind into the caliper and hook it on. Put it up at an angle and it'll hook on at the back. Now you can do this stage of the project here with the brake caliper off. Now is that correct? That looks right. Oh, there we go, the inner one wasn't quite right, so I've got those in place. So now I can get the little brake pin slide that back from the other side. And what I do, I'm making sure that there's the little hole that the clip goes through. I've got that at the top. So now I'll get my little punch and I'll give it a tap back from the other side. Okay. Then I get my little clip and clip that into place. There we go. And that's it. Just going to operate the foot brake, take up the play, and that's it. Just need to put the spray guard back and the pannier.